Hey folks, here we are in the fall. It's November. We got some cold spells and the leaves are turning to crispy critters. So this tree I gave to a friend. He brought it back. He said his wife didn't want it. So David, here's your tree. Here's a second set. If I recall correctly, these were put in and cut to the ground. I think I put them in last year and I cut them to the ground this year. Yes, that's what I did. So this is this year's growth on this tree. And it's already made branches. Two branches down here. It's kind of funny. It's made two branches here, one branch there, and some way at the top. So that's be a funny looking tree. This one is the one I left. Two trees coming out of the same stump, just to see what had happened. And this one is a triple. Most of them are a double. This one is the prize winner. I don't know what is different about the roots on this one versus all the rest of them, but it has outperformed every other tree so far. So like the rest of them, I cut this one down to the ground this year in the spring. And this year alone, that's the trunk. This year alone. I didn't really give it any special fertilizers. I just fertilized the yard. Look at the size of that root flare. So it's doing very well. And it's going to be taller than the mama tree over here. So where I cut the roots this winter, last winter, and I put some roots out to grow. This came up from the end of the roots where I cut it. So this one, out of 1 year, it's about 8 foot tall. There's no branches on it. I'm probably going to cut this one to the ground this winter. Another one that popped up by itself is about the same. That's 2, and I got number 3 right here. Trying to remember. No, this is some massive root system. This, I believe, is all voluntary from where I cut the roots going this way to another tree. And it just took hold and made a new tree. So my conclusion with this is if you put these in your ground, you're going to have them for the rest of your life. Look how tall this one is. This is kind of like how forests are made. The trees grow straight and tall because they're fighting to get to the canopy. And it makes for some nice, straight, tall trees. The mother tree, I believe this was a 2013. When I cut it down in the spring of 2013 when I started growing back. So this is the growth in 4 years. That's what, 10 inches across. Nice healthy root flare going into the ground. If you're planting trees and you don't have this going into the ground, eventually you're killing your tree. If your tree starts growing out of the ground at this high and it grows straight out of the ground with nothing curving out, that tree is going to be sick and it'll probably die at a very young age. They got to have the root flare exposed to the air. So if you got trees in your yard or on your property and they're skinny all the way out of the ground, go in there and carefully start removing the dirt away from the base of the tree. And if you got to, make a drainage so the water can drain from the hole you dig, trying to get to the root flare. Because so many people, when they plant their trees, they put them too deep into the ground. So that's what you want to see when they start getting older. That's what you want to see when they start getting older. This one, yep. That one's got root flare. So that's the way nature intended trees to grow. My redbud tree, I planted it almost too deep. There's a little bit of flare coming out, but I gotta keep pulling that soil away so it can breathe properly. So this is the update on the old Royal Empress trees in the backyard before winter comes and strips all the leaves off. I got plenty of buds set for next spring, and something I've learned, I've mentioned before in previous videos, this tree is already setting buds. It set buds last year, the first time it came out of the ground. So I cut it off in the winter. It came back and set buds again. So I think the lesson here is it depends on the age of the root system, not the age of the actual tree sticking out of the ground, as to when you're going to get flowers. Because if you grow this from a seed, it's going to take 3 years. This one here is from seed. It took every bit of 3 years to get the first buds. This one here, first year out of the ground, boom, ready for flowers. So for the people out there that I sent some roots to, leave me a comment and send me some pictures. I'd sure like to see them. Alright, I guess we'll be seeing you sometime this winter or next spring. I'm out.